So just quick update, another Prelude video coming out later this week. I worked on things a little bit yesterday, and I was able to get the transmission unbolted. Unfortunately, I'm struggling getting it apart just because you've got to have basically be able to come straight apart. Can't really have any angles or anything, so I'm gonna need another person to help me get it apart. I'll show you real quick. Here it is. You can see I got the gap here. You can see the little dowels, positioning dowels and everything. So it's with having it on the hoist and everything, trying to get it apart without it, wiggling and stuff like that with one person. It's a bit of a challenge. It's just about there. I just am not able to get I can't get it flat enough, and then trying to yank on it kind of teeter-totters the motor. As you can see, it's super dirty. So we'll get that all cleaned up and start tearing things apart. Behind me, I've got things laid out so that I can start, as I take pieces apart, I can lay them out in order, and it'll make putting things back together a lot easier. It's been so long since I started tearing things apart. I'm very glad that I have used Ziploc bags, labeled things, and I've labeled things with tape. So anyway, there's an update with that. I'm gonna be processing rabbits tomorrow, and I have been asked to make a video on that. Later this week we'll have a Prelude video, so I will have a few more evenings this week to be able to work on the Prelude. So those of you that are interested and are following for the Prelude, that video will be coming out later this week. This is going to be a little bit different of a video. It's going to be me talking a little bit. As you've noticed, Jackie and the kids have been less involved in the videos. My wife is a very, very busy person. She's a stay-at-home mom. She also watches other kids during the week. She runs a lot of the behind-the-scenes things. In the coming weeks, I'm gonna do a special video on her and just kind of what she does and everything. But she does a lot, and she's kind of camera shy as well. So this is kind of turned into more of something I do, but that doesn't mean she's not involved with all of the stuff we've been doing. She's very much involved, and she runs a lot of the logistics of things, most especially while I am at work. So yeah, some of the things I just wanted to kind of throw out there and put out there. I have done my best to try and keep things as neutral and that as possible. As many of you have probably guessed through the video content and everything, a lot of the video content is more conservative, and that is because we are conservative. We are also Christian. We have a Christian-based faith. So we are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we follow that religion, and we're active. Right now we're not as active just with everything. Jackie and the kids have compromised immune systems. I work at the hospital. I'm in and out of COVID rooms, and I personally just, because of that, I'm more exposed to COVID. And one thing I'd absolutely hate is to be carrying that to members of our congregation. Not everyone agrees and sees things that way, and that's totally fine. With that being said, one thing I want to kind of go over on this video is that and the reason why I'm coming out with some of this stuff in this video is We're coming to a time where we need to draw a line in the sand, and we need to figure out where we are, what we stand for, and we need to stand behind that. The time of being on the fence or kind of being quiet and stuff on things it's come and gone. I may be able to continue doing that for a little while longer, but I am being put in positions every single day where I feel like I'm having to stand my ground more and more and more loudly. This is in all aspects. It's come down to inner circles, it's come down to job, it's even come down to church, and in every aspect. That video I talked about, 5 things that you must do, making a plan and everything like that. So some of this kind of goes along with that. We need to start figuring out where we are, what we want, and where we want to go, and start living life that way. And no matter what side of things you're on, it honestly doesn't matter. Everything needs its opposition, and it is by design that way. But that doesn't mean that we can't get along. It doesn't mean that we can't put our differences aside for the greater good. One thing I'm seeing happening quite frequently, and this is happening more and more, and I spend a lot of time at work lately, and I see this happening at work, and I'm watching it literally destroy relationships and stuff, and it makes it very difficult to work. And I'm not innocent in this either. It's something that I have picked up on more exclusively this last week, and realizing my faults in it, and realizing where I need to be better. But just because we have differences, just because we don't agree with things and stuff, we need to make a stand, but we need to also be adult enough that we can put our differences aside when things come down to something more important. And sometimes that is extremely hard to do. We're human. I totally understand that and everything. Trying to talk about these things without going into other things is difficult. Many things are changing. We are being tested in so many different ways. The corruption, and that is so wide and vast. It's not, corruption and stuff's not just in our big governments. It's local, it's, you can even come down to some of our inner circles and everything. And that being said, there is much of craziness and bad things that are going on. There are also many good things going on. Working in the medical field, I get to see that. Lately, it's kind of hard, and many things are being overshadowed by some of the corruption and some of the struggles and current events going on, and especially right now in the medical field, those things kind of overshadow the good things that are going on. One of the awesome things that I really like about working in the healthcare is my co-workers, the frontline workers, the ones that are actually doing the good, the ones that are actually on the front lines, not the ones sitting up in offices, not the ones, sitting back micromanaging the rest of us. It's the ones that are on the front lines, physically dealing with these sick patients. Those are the ones that are the miracle workers. Those are the ones that are truly the angels in these people's lives and the ones truly making the difference. And one of the things that just is frustrating, not just to me, but to many others around me, is, we're doing this and making sacrifices and everything for these people that need us. And many situations, it's people's very last hours, minutes. I work in the OR, so I'm not as exposed to some of that, but as we've had to shut down some of our procedures due to being overran with COVID patients, I have other skill sets outside of the OR. Because of those skill sets, I have been flexed to other areas. And I have literally spent days and that just working on what we call COVID hall, exclusively with these COVID patients. And I've seen all sorts of stuff, good, bad, miracles. It's very humbling. But anyway, it's just amazing to see all of that. And those are many of the good things, and it's been good to experience that. On the flip side, there are also lots of other frustrating things that are tying our hands as far as what we can do, what we can't do. We're trying to do the best for our patients, and there are times where our hands are tied. I unfortunately at this time cannot go further into those things in lieu of meeting retaliation and other things, is putting my job in even more jeopardy than it already is currently. But maybe at a later date we will shed some light on that. Maybe we won't. Eventually it needs to come out, but at this time those are things that cannot put out. But just know that there are many things that aren't being portrayed. Transparency isn't there as much as people think it is. That being said, I'm gonna have haters and stuff for this. There's gonna be naysayers. I've worked in the medical field for 10 plus years. I've worked in many different areas. I have literally climbed the ladder, and I'm still climbing the ladder, but I have started from bare bottom, entry level, and have worked my way up to where I am. And I can tell you this much, that the healthcare system is not what it used to be 10 years ago. And it saddens me. And these are some of the real reasons why a lot of people are leaving. There's a lot more, once again, stuff I can't go into. There's a reason why there is an exodus going on, and it's not just the having to deal with things currently happening. So my whole point in bringing that up is that the reason why each and every one of us need to find where we stand. Once we find where we stand, we need to remain standing there and be immovable. You need to find for you, for a surety, that is your belief and where you want to stand. And you need to stay standing there, no matter what happens, no matter what is said. You are going to meet adversity. You're going to meet naysayers. You're going to have people tearing you down. You are going to find that even those that you wouldn't think will. Even within your closest circles, by you making a stand and knowing exactly what you want, where you want to be, and to be immovable, you are going to find out who your true friends and family are. And the sad thing is, it's going to amaze you that is a lot smaller percentage of people than you truly believe and think. It may even be no one. There are times when I've made stands where I have honestly been the only one. And it's tough. It really is tough. But it truly does matter. All these small little things really truly matter. And that, unfortunately, I've been seeing a lot of people saying and talking about, I don't want to have to do this, but if I'm put in a place where I have to choose between my moral standards and being able to provide for my family, I'm gonna have to drop my standards so I can provide for my family. I personally think and feel that is a dangerous thinking, a very dangerous thinking. It's that type of thinking that has gotten us in trouble in the past. It's that type of thinking that has gotten us in some very not so good situations in history. It's because good people lowered their standards because they were faced with a very difficult situation. These are the things I kind of wanted to just go over and put out there. I don't expect there to be many people that watch this even get this far in the video. If you've gotten this far in the video, I gotta hand it to you. Congratulations. I hope this has helped. If it can even help at least one person, then it's not been a waste. As always, like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Peace out.